Welcome to the Talk podcast with ideas strategist Linda Reed-Enever. Talk is where we chat about ideas and inspiration you can use to market your business. Get ready for practical tips you can implement today with your host, Linda Reed-Enever.
Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome back to this episode of the Talk podcast. As we have been planning this return to the Talk podcast, it has been an exciting time here while we've been going through and looking for ideas and inspiration about what we're actually going to talk about in this episode of Talk. So I thought I would actually share with you 5 ways that you can find inspiration when you are stuck or when you're looking at coming up for new ideas and that within your business. And the first one that I love to do, and I do this a lot myself, is changing things up. Exploring new locations, getting out of the house or the office can help you just be that little bit creative and come up with ideas. You might digitally walk away. You might grab a notepad and a pen and paper and just go and write down some ideas. I'm very effective inside someone else's cafe or someone else's environment because I know that I'm working on someone else's time. So I find that I work really, really well inside those spaces and I get out and I change up other ideas. And for those of you who work with me inside the course creators circle or the marketing circle, you'll hear me say that quite often I disappear for a weekend and I go and work on that course or that project outline to make sure that I've got it all together, or for a couple of days, maybe not a weekend, and go and get all of that course and project together in my head. And then I come back and I share it with the team because sometimes I just need to get away, get out of the day-to-day and get into my head, get the knowledge out and put it into action. And quite often overwhelm inside the day-to-day just doesn't allow us to be able to get out. So change things up, maybe go to a cafe, spend some time writing some things down, go to a new location, travel, give yourself a work trip, prepare to be able to travel and do things like that. Another one that I really, really like to do is journaling or scribbling or writing my ideas out. I love having a whiteboard in my office, and possibly even a pen and paper and a notepad on my desk. And quite often I have scribble pads on my desk just so that I can scribble. And I write those ideas down because ideas will quite often come to us throughout the day and we're in our day-to-day and we've got the inspiration. But if we go down the rabbit hole of following it, we may not. So I actually have an ideas notebook that sits beside me and I write the idea into it. And then when I'm stuck, I come back to that journaling and that ideas book as I'm going through. And the other times is I might actually just, go through that whole process of writing things out. How do I see this working? How do I see the business going from here? Or how do I see this project or this logo design that we're working on for a client? I journal it out. Another one that I like to do is to talk things out. So I love the use of Google Talk to Type. Word's got a dictaphone in it. Most of your phones have got the ability to talk to text. By being able to talk things out, you're able to have a conversation with yourself. And by having that conversation with yourself, you just let the ideas flow. And if you're a talker, this works really well for you. You let the ideas flow and you find your way to that solution or that inspiration or the thing that you need to do. And number 3 is a really fun one. It's about immersing yourself in coloring or drawing or in art, allowing your brain to go into another area. Forget work altogether for a moment. Just go and get a coloring book, an adult coloring book, and color. You'll tap into another component of your brain. And by doing that, allow those ideas to flow. Maybe use the talk method as well. Hook up your phone and talk the things out as you're coloring along. But just color. Just spend that moment in time working on something else. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is not artwork we're showing other people. This is artwork for ourselves to get through this process. And I talk about having progress trees or ideas trees where you're coloring leaves along the way to get yourself through that journey. I'll include a link for the progress trees so you can download them. That's a little gift from me to you in this episode. So that, if you're making a little bit of progress on something, you can write down some key things that you want to work on and color them along the way. Progress trees are a great thing for me. I love them. Coloring in leaves, it's all like our marketing trees. And I talk about things like that in marketing. The other one is, do you need to take a break? Because if you're not finding inspiration, if you're stuck, you might just need to take a break for a little while. Take a break from what you're working on. Walk away, do something you can do, or actually just walk away, go have lunch, go have a cup of coffee, and then come back, okay? Then come back to it because I know you're on a deadline, you're trying to get something done, you just need to push through, but sometimes pushing through is the worst thing that we can possibly do. So take a break, allow yourself a break, and that could be a weekend off, it could be a day off, it could be half a day, it could be going to your favorite shop, it could be going to your favorite coffee shop, it could be reading that book, it could be doing that coloring, but taking that break from the task that you're doing, and rather than trying to push through, allow yourself some time away from it so that you can come back focused with fresh ideas. And because you do come back focused and less frustrated, the task tends to be a little bit easier to do. And then number 5 is to try a new way of doing it. You might just need to try something else. Look at it from another angle. Look at it from another approach. Try something new in your marketing if you want to. Maybe you haven't done a lead magnet before. Maybe you haven't done a quiz. Maybe you haven't created ebooks. Maybe you haven't jumped on short form video. Try something new, because that something new might just be the new inspiration, the new connection, the new buzz thing that's going to light you up to be inspired for the rest of your business and what you're going to do. And that new thing actually doesn't have to be within the business. It could be a new sport. It could be a new coffee. It could be, taking up a new class or walking a new way to your office or around work to get there along the way. So I hope this episode helps you. I hope you're inspired. We're definitely inspired because this is our second episode back of Talk for 2023, and we're going to have lots more episodes coming your way throughout the year.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talk with Linda Reed-Enever. Make sure you subscribe via your favourite podcast app so you don't miss the next great episode. You can find more ideas and inspiration at lindareedenever.com.au.